Hey guys, S2F Gaming here, and welcome back to ARK, the Farewell Tour. Before we get into this one, guys, just want to talk about a few things. And first things first, when transferring back here to the island, the game ended up crashing. So, we lost most of our stuff, and pretty much, not that big of a deal. I've already built myself back up to what we had before, but we did have a pretty big loss in the form of POLLY, the first Equus that we've tamed in this series. Unfortunately, with the crash, it went poof, and we've lost it. And don't worry, guys, of course, it was the first tame of the series. I don't know what you guys are talking about some Equus over on Ragnarok that's just walking around, wandering right now. No idea what you're talking about. But yes, huge loss for us. I really like the colors on that thing. It would have been great for morale to have this thing around base, but it is what it is. Life goes on. Another thing I want to mention, guys, is I have dropped the XP back down to 0.25 because 0.5 is a bit excessive, and that is because, well, I've done some breeding between episodes, and I've gotten myself up to level 38. That is right. We have gained, I believe, about 8 levels in between episodes, and that is a bit excessive. So, I dropped it back on down to 0.25. I think once we hit level 50 or something like that, I'll probably jump it back up to 0.5, but we'll take it as we go. But speaking of which, yes, I have 2 brand new dinos to show off. This is the brand new Maywing, fully imprinted, ready to go, along with the Equus, fully imprinted, ready to go. Now, looking over the stats of each of them, we have ourselves 3696 in health, 1260 in stam, 758 in weight, and 344 melee on the Maywing, and of course that is it with a 100% imprint. And then we have the Equus here with 2235 in health, 1736 stam, 730 in weight, and 339 melee, and again with 100% imprint. And I gotta say, guys, 100% imprint and all that stuff, oh my god, it's so tough without cryopods. It makes you wonder, like, how the heck did we do breeding? How did we do half the stuff before cryopods even existed? Oh my gosh, the amount of babies that I've had to kill, which is exactly why I got so many levels. So if you guys are looking for XP grind, you're looking for some levels, just basically breed your dinos and just kill all the babies, essentially. You'll get a ton of levels from doing that. But I do have names for these guys. For the Maywing specifically, I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna go with a bit of a obscure reference, so we're gonna go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So let's get into it, guys. Right when I see this Maywing, I think of the Joker, and not any specific Joker. I think of Jack Nicholson's Joker in 1989 Batman, and I'll put a picture of it on screen. You guys may see the reference, you guys might not, but I don't know why, it just screams to me that specific Joker. Now, don't get me wrong, not a huge fan of Jack Nicholson in the Batman franchise, but I am a big Jack Nicholson fan, and if you guys know, if you guys don't know, he did a very famous movie back in the 70s, maybe it was 80s, I believe. It's called The Shining. It's based on a Stephen King novel, and it's actually, I think it's ranked like one of the best movies of all time. Now, in that movie, there's a pretty scary scene where Jack Nicholson has pretty much gone insane, and he is going around and killing his family. Yes, those are the kind of wonderful family movies that we brought out in the 70s and 80s. I'm not sure what year it was. I'm going to say 80s. I'm just going to stick to my guns there. But anyways, yes, there's a very famous scene that essentially his wife locks herself into the bathroom to try to get away from him because, you know, like any other human, we don't want to die. And basically what happens is he magically finds an axe somewhere. Might have been explained earlier in the movie. I'm not really sure. It's been a bit since I've seen it. But he pretty much just starts knocking down the door. And of course, one of the most famous lines in the movie, he does this whole Three Little Pigs reference, and then he says, "Here's Johnny," which, if you guys haven't seen the scene, I'm gonna show it right now, basically. Gonna show a little clip of it. Obviously, parents, if you're watching this with your kids, you probably know the movie Shining. You might want to skip ahead a little bit, because it is a bit of a scary movie and everything. The scene is very scary, too. If you're a kid watching this, let's be honest, you probably shouldn't be watching ARK to begin with. There's a little violence, there's a lot of blood, the whole nine. Don't be watching this. I don't know, what do kids watch nowadays? Go watch SpongeBob, go watch Pokemon, whatever the young kids are doing nowadays. Go watch that video, damn it. But anyways, gonna give you guys a few seconds to figure out if you're gonna skip ahead or not, and 3, 2, 1, here's the movie clip. Hey guys, S2F Gaming here. So after recording the episode, editing it, and sending it over to YouTube, the video got copyright claimed, and that is because of the scene that I was about to show you from The Shining. It actually got copyright claimed from Warner Brothers, which is absolutely crazy. But if I keep the clip in this episode, this video does not get monetized at all. So I don't really have a choice, guys. I do have to cut it on out. But if you guys are interested in checking out the scene that I am talking about or was talking about prior to this clip, all you have to do on YouTube is just search The Shining, Here's Johnny, and you'll find the clip right away, basically. Sorry about that, guys, but let's get back to the episode. So yeah, guys, long story short, our Maywing is named, well, Johnny. And that's kind of the reference. There we go. Yeah, I freaking love this thing. Oh my god, having a Maywing as the first quote-unquote flying tame, this thing looks absolutely awesome, I gotta say. But let's go over the Equus now, too. So guys, checking out this Equus, it looks insane. We got the combination of black on the mane. We have a combination of just like the white throughout too, which I really think just pops really well. Also like the really light blue. It's not like a powder blue. It's not like a turquoisey blue. I don't really know what to call it, but I'm absolutely loving it. And it just all works together, in my opinion, once you get down to like the legs and the feet and stuff with just that solid black color too. Oh my god, this thing looks absolutely sick. But I can't really figure out a good name for it, so that's where you guys come in. You are going to decide the name for this dino. The way I'm going to do it is the most liked comment, basically, is going to be the name of that dino and everything. Now, if we have a tie, or if we have none of them that are liked or anything like that, I'll be the ultimate decision. We'll figure it out. It will be in the coming episodes, because usually I try to record all 3 episodes for 1 week in 1 session. So, in a couple episodes, I'll give you guys the name of this Equus. But yeah, give me a good name, guys. That's all I ask. But guys, first things first, I'm going to show off, let's see again. But guys, to finally get started with this episode, first thing I'm going to show off is the pros and cons between using a canoe and using a raft, because believe me, there are some good things for the raft, but there's also some really bad things. And again, with the canoe, same thing. There's some really good things, and there are some really bad things too. But first things first, let's go ahead and make ourselves said raft. So let's do that. Gonna be honest, we're gonna gain a level from it, because we're pretty much about the level anyways. So let's say hello to level 39 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now. There we go. Okay, so we are level 39. Oh my god. I have been actually bumping up movement speed, so we are currently at 118. I think I may just stop it there for now and focus on weight. Stamina, we're okay. We are all good. So now it's pretty much just between weight, movement speed, fortitude, and then eventually we'll add a little bit to health, but for right now, we're totally fine. In this case, I think I'm just going to go weight right now, but let's plop down this raft, and we got it right here, and we can name this guy, which is what we're going to do right now, and we're going to name it the SS Sinker. I think we all know why. So let's put it that way. By the way, does anyone know, I guess I can look this up. I'm actually going to look it up. Why we put SS in front of ships and stuff like that. Like, obviously, there's the infamous SS Sinker. There is also the infamous, obviously, the Titanic was called the SS Titanic, I believe. In the Pokemon games, we had the SS Anne. Why is there SS at the end? I'm actually going to take a second and research this, and I'll let you guys know the answer in a second, if you're not sure either. Oh. It's actually a pretty simple answer. The SS means steamship. Interesting. So it's the steamship Titanic and the steamship Anne. Okay. Anyway, so we got the SS Sinker. Technically, it shouldn't be SS then, because this thing is not set on, like, steam or anything. It's pretty much just going to be wind or lack thereof, since I just took the, this thing away. I don't know boat terms, guys. I apologize. But here's a few great things about using the raft, is you can build on this guy. You can put, like, storage. You can put, speaking of which, do I have enough for a storage box? I don't. But we'll make a sleeping bag. Perfect. That's exactly what we need to put on here. It's not, but just to show you guys that you can just put everything and anything on this guy. What's really nice about using these is, like I said, you can put anything on here, so you can do refining forges, you can do storage, you can make big ships with it, essentially. You can also go ahead and make taming traps with this. Like, it has some really good uses. But here is said problem, and of course, you guys know, I think you guys know where this is going. We're just going to go out into the ocean. We're going to go ahead and try to get ourselves to Herbivore Island. Now, Herbivore Island is a ways that way. We have not visited it in this series yet. We are going to attempt to get there. There is a very good shot that we get there. But of course, there are certain things in the water that everyone knows about that will come up and destroy your boat, and we'll probably see that here in a bit. But if you do want your raft specifically to survive, best way to do it is stay along the coast as much as possible. The downside is, because you're on the coast, there is a chance of sarcos coming after you. So, kind of pick your poison with this, but the raft is definitely great for just having a mobile base, essentially. It's really, really good. Apparently, there is a way, too, that you can lower foundations on here in order to prevent said big fish that's about to eat our boat at some point from, like, it prevents it from actually hitting the boat, which is kind of crazy. I've never been able to figure it out. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. I know you have to lower the foundations, but I always feel like I don't lower the foundations enough in order for that to happen. I don't know. I've never been able to figure it out, and since they've made the Canoe, personally, I've always been a fan of the Canoe, just period, and I'll show off why in a bit. But we're actually doing pretty good here, specifically. But once it happens, because it will happen, we will actually have ourselves a leads pretty much come and destroy the boat. I'll bring you guys back and we'll show it off. But if not, maybe we'll have some smooth sailing and we'll get ourselves to Herbivore Island. Alright, so we got Herbivore out on the horizon. I am very surprised we've even made it this far without a leads attack. I don't know, maybe my information's a bit wrong. Maybe they're not as common as I thought. I feel like every time I've personally gotten onto a raft and I've, like, built it up and everything like that, that's always when a leads will attack, and it's just one of those things, guys. But hopefully it happens, and I'm saying hopefully because that was kind of the point, just to show you guys that whatever you put on this thing, at all times, be aware that eventually a leads will come along and destroy everything that you've worked towards. So, don't get me wrong, mobile bases are great and everything. There's a particular spot, actually, that I started a series that it would probably be a good place if you want to have a mobile, like, refining area, basically. I'll kind of show you that area here in a little bit. It might actually work out really well for you as a suggestion for a base, and also a mobile, kind of pseudo-mobile base with this thing. But, yeah, it's kind of a good system of kind of crossing over the water, getting the metal, essentially, from Herbivore Island, because pretty much that's all you're doing on Herbivore Island. You might be taming a flyer, you might be taming one of your first dinos over here, you might be taming, there's not really too much else to tame there, but you might be getting yourself just a ton of metal, which is usually why people make this trip, because there's just an abundance of metal pretty much isolated in one specific spot. Now, what's nice is, if you build on Herbivore Island, you can build kind of out of the way of the metal spawns, so they will constantly, just continuously... Oh, there we go. Wow, speaking of which, alright, so this is what happens, basically. Let me see if I can kind of... It's kind of funny that sometimes you can actually, like... Alright, let's see if we can see this thing. It's gonna be catching up here in a little bit, 100%. There's no way that was just one attack and that's it. Where are you, buddy? Here you are, I see you. Yep, see the big guy coming on in? He's gonna come on up and attack the boat right now. So yeah, you can maneuver and everything. You can try to get a little bit closer to shore to prevent your raft from basically going bye-bye, but eventually this thing is just going to end up hitting your boat. You can kind of do the whole Serpentine if you want to try to avoid it, but I will let you guys know, if this thing was an alpha, yeah, it doesn't make a difference what you do. The thing will basically come up and kill you. But I'm going to kind of Serpentine. I'm going to see if we can get this raft to survive. But yeah, this is the biggest downside of using this thing. It's got some great positives. Like I said, mobile base, you can also... Oh, yep, there we go. Took a little more damage. Mobile base, refining forge area, basically. You could just have a mobile forge, basically constantly giving yourself some charcoal, giving yourself some... We're really just going to get this close to Herbivore Island. Come on. Let me see if I can get to shore, because I really don't want to die at this point, you know what I mean? You guys get kind of what's going on here, but... Son of a bitch, yeah, the boat's gonna die. Damn it, I want to get as close to shore as possible then before this happens. Let me see if I can... Okay, one more hit. Okay, we're just gonna go straight in. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're not gonna get there. Yep, there's the boat, and goodbye. Now the leads will not attack you specifically. I'll scrape meat while we're at it. Screw it. Yeah, that's my payback. The leads will not attack you specifically, which is nice. But it will basically break your boat, as you guys see there. So definitely, like I said, you have some positives with using a mobile base like that, using the kind of refining forges and stuff, and building your own little mobile forge and everything. But at the same time, you always have to deal with that. Now, you don't if you have a canoe. And actually, this was perfect timing, because now I can put all this meat in here, and now it's got a pretty long spoil timer of 3 hours and change. But now that we have the canoe, we don't have to worry about this leads, and we'll go back to the same exact spot where this lead should be. And yeah, you'll see. Like, this thing won't come and attack, and basically it should be right below us at this point. It'll kind of, doesn't move around too much. It only really moves when boats and stuff are around, but as you guys can see, zip. Nothing. That is the one great thing about using the canoe. And of course, storage-wise, you can get a decent amount of storage on this thing. It's good just because, again, you can pick it up once you get to your location. You can also drop it on off. It's great in rivers. It's great on the water and everything. But there is a downside with the rivers, of course, and that is Sarcos, Spinos, and Baryonyxes. They will attack the boat specifically because they see you, and they will end up attacking the boat and breaking it, and it's kind of similar to the lead specifically. But out here on the open ocean, no way will your raft get damaged, and there's only one exception to that rule, and that is if I decide to actually jump off of the raft right now, any Megalodon in the area are aggro to me specifically. At that point, if I get back on the boat and I just start paddling again, they will attack the boat because they are, in fact, trying to attack me. So that is the only exception to the rule. But if you don't jump off or anything like that, hell, I can go around this island multiple times until I basically die of starvation or dehydration, but I will not die from a leads, I will not die from a Tuso, I won't die from any dino in the ocean right now will not kill the canoe, which is absolutely crazy, which is why personally I do prefer the canoe. And yes, I would love to have a mobile base, I would love to have mobile like refining forges and stuff like that, but at the same time, it is what it is. I'll stick to the canoe. And personally, I like this thing a little better anyways. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. What do you prefer using? Do you prefer to use the raft, or do you prefer to use the canoe? And of course, there's definitely a couple of things that I didn't go over. If you guys use your raft or canoe for anything else specifically, let me know, because who knows, maybe it'll be like, oh shit, that's a good idea, you know, that kind of thing. And maybe I'll use a raft for whatever specifically, or I'll use the canoe for whatever you guys are using it for, pretty much. But here we are at Herbivore Island, which this place is absolutely great. Obviously, with the name Herbivore Island, it pretty much lets you know that it's a safe area. No dinos will actually attack you on here, because pretty much they are all herbivores. The only exception is the Pteranodon right there that will, it is a meat eater, obviously, but won't attack you or anything like that, so you are good to go. And we are just going to leave the canoe here and kind of just explore around. But most of the time, the reason why you're here is for the metal specifically. Now, I'm not going to gather any metal in this episode because I do plan on a future episode building like an outpost over here, and we're going to do a like metal refining outpost specifically. That's all it's going to be for. I kind of want to make a whole like docking system and everything too, so we can kind of bring the canoe right on up, and we can jump off and pretty much just go straight into the to the house, the base, whatever we want to call it. But yeah, this is a great place to get some tames. Like I said, you have Pteranodon here. This one's a level 10 specifically, but you can find some high-level ones. In the past, this is also where I actually found a unicorn. Very rare to find out here, but I did end up finding it in one of the, I think it was 2, maybe 3 series ago. I think it was episode 2, if I'm not mistaken, because it was my first tame of that series was a unicorn. Yeah, absolutely nuts, but worth it in the end, 100%. But you can find yourself Ankies out here. You can also find yourself Stegos out here, Pelagornis. You can find yourself Brontos. There's a loot drop that comes out here, which we will be checking this thing out in a little bit. Most likely it's going to be a metal, let's see, what do we usually get? Metal door frame blueprint, or maybe metal wall blueprint. But you can also find tech parasaurs out here, which, what level are you? You're 114, not too shabby. But yeah, you can find some really good dinos out here. The problem is, without cryos, you would need the raft in order to get them back to mainland. Obviously, the Pteranodon is the exception, because you can fly it back on over, but everything else, yeah, you're going to have to kind of use the raft, which then goes along the lines of, well, is it going to die or not, based on the leads and everything. But this is pretty much what you're here for. There is a ton of metal on this island, along with tech creatures, obviously, too. But, yeah, you can get yourself just an absolute... you can get yourself an absolute ton of metal on this island. You just have to look around. There's a ton of these rich metal nodes. There's also normal metal nodes, which will get you a heck of a lot more metal than the river rocks and stuff that we're using. So, like I said, in the future, I will be doing an outpost. I will be kind of going over this further, but I did also want to kind of just go over the differences between the raft and the canoe. But again, guys, let me know in the comments, what's the difference? What do you guys prefer using? Do you prefer to use a raft, or do you prefer to use a canoe? And get out of the picture, Trike. What level are you, by the way? 115, not too shabby. And then you also have a level 15 right here. Awesome. But I'm going to get myself back over to the mainland, because I'm not going to actually gather this metal. We don't necessarily need it right now. I don't necessarily have the space either. I may want to take advantage of this prime fish meat, though. So I wasn't really thinking about it, but... oh, what level are you? I've actually never tamed... ooh. I've never tamed a Pelagornis. Do they gotta eat prime fish meat, right? I don't even have bolas. You know what? Screw it. Let's actually make a bola. Let's see if we can knock this thing out. I have never tamed a Pelagornis in my life. So we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna see if we can get this done. So, we need, for bolas, stone and thatch. Cool. Let's see if we can get this guy. So, stone. Let's get a couple of those, actually. And then thatch. Thatch, thatch, thatch. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, let's make 8. Perfect. And that will go into the... that'll go into the slot where the sickle was. But, alright, let's make sure I brought... okay, I did bring Tranks. Good. And, of course, it's purple out right now, so I can't even see. Okay, I think this is the 140, but we're going to walk up and double-check it. Okay, perfect. No, 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 no. Nice. All right. I'm just going to follow it. Don't you... damn it. I'm wasting these two. Oh, my God. And, of course, it's dark out. This thing's going to go back to the water. No. Come back here. All right. Are you kind of coming to me? Yeah, you're coming to the land. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Was not expecting to get one of these guys, but let's see if we can do this. Oh, it's going to be real quick. And it is out. Oh my God, I've never tamed one of these. I don't know if they're good or not or anything. I know they're really good with, what are they good in getting? They're really good in getting polymer over in the ice area, in the snowy mountains and everything, in the form of penguins, but that will be at a later point. But for right now, I think we're just going to let this thing sit here. It looks like its food goes down fairly slowly. Its torpor goes down pretty quick. So we'll have to kind of watch that. We got a level 15 Anki. We're not going to bother... I really didn't want to do taming today, but this thing kind of just fell into our lap, and I've never had one before, so definitely want to get this thing and see what it can do. But yeah, I'm going to head on back to the boat, because I think I'm going to have to just... if I bring the canoe around here, the problem is the Megalodon will end up attacking the boat, so it might just be better to go this on foot. Grab a couple of... level 50. Let's go ahead and... where is it? There it is. There we go. Perfect. Okay. We'll kind of keep that on here. Ooh. Why can't you be a higher level? You look gorgeous. We're not going to do... Oh, no. Shh. Oh, that could have been bad. Oh, man. And guess what, guys? That would have been really bad because we have no way in getting back over here. Well, I guess I could have made another canoe, but damn, that could have been really bad. Let's take a look at the parasaurs. Not for now, but for the future again, because why not? Unless we find a really good one, you know what I mean? But, hey, we got a gotcha claws over here, too. That's kind of cool. But yeah, Herbivore Island is a great spot. Oh, I meant to go for that drop. Herbivore Island is a great spot. But, guys, gonna wait this one on out. I'm gonna wait till this Pelagornis is up. We will check out its stats and all that fun stuff. So I will see you guys in a little bit. So we're actually going to go on a little bit of an adventure here. I realized that I do really need to make a spyglass, and the plan was to head back to base, get the Equus, and go up to the mountain right near us and get ourselves some crystal, but there's a chance in losing the Equus and all that stuff, so we're going to go the safer method, and it is actually over this way. The lava cave is right on over here, and inside the lava cave, you don't have to go too far in there, but pretty much right at the entrance, there's a little bit of crystal. So we're going to get our crystal that way. And then I think at that point, I think we'll have all the materials needed. And if we don't, there's probably going to be a Mo shop. There's probably going to be a dodo, something around there. If we need a little hide, I think we're good in the hide department, to be honest. But if we need wood, if we need thatch, there'll be plenty of trees over there too. So let's head on over there. I kind of want to see if we can find another Pelagornis, to be honest. I don't want to do any more breeding for right now, just because I know, again, that got me so many levels. I'm kind of regretting doing the breeding. Probably should have only gotten one Maywing and one Equus and kind of just had that and kind of just rode it around and call it a day. And then later in the series, once we get cryos, once we kind of build ourselves up a little bit more, maybe that's when the breeding should have been done. But, you live and learn. It is what it is. No big deal. But I am going to try to prevent myself from doing more breeding at this point, because, again, doing breeding just gets you so many levels and everything like that, too. It's absolutely nuts. So I want to prevent that as much as possible, because, as you guys know, I love the early game. I want to keep that kind of early game anxiety in a good way, that there's a chance that around every corner you can end up dying from something, from a Rex, heck, from just raptors. Even compies can end up killing you. I like having that anxiety, if you will. I know it sounds like I'm using it negatively. I'm not, though. I really do enjoy the beginning parts of the game. It starts to get, not that it starts to get a little bit boring, but when you have yourself your first Rex that's imprinted, once you get yourself really established and you have some really good dinos, even with a Thyla, too. Like, if you have a really good Thyla, like, it's not it becomes boring, it's just, you know you're going to be fine out there. It doesn't matter what adventure you go on, you know you're going to be 100% fine. And I'm trying to do my best to slow it down as much as possible so we always feel vulnerable, because I personally really like that feeling in this game. But here's where we are on the map, by the way, guys. As you can see, we've kind of circled the entire bottom here. But we're pretty much going to be right at the lava cave. And like I said, all you need to do is step right on into it. You don't even have to see any dinos or anything inside this cave. It's pretty much, like I said, right at the entrance. So right there. And I would recommend come here with metal, just because you'll get the crystal right away. You can come here with stone and everything. Like, you can use a stone pickaxe on it. There's just a really good chance that you're not going to get a lot of crystal, and you may not end up getting enough. So that's why I usually wait till I have metal, so I can guarantee that I'm going to get this thing. And by the way, just for shits and giggles, there we go. And we have a poor little dolphin basically ended up killing itself. I gotta love that. That's the only dino that does that. It, like, oh my god, I don't get it. Every time. It doesn't matter what map. Specifically, though, Valguero, it does the most, or Valguero, I don't know how it's pronounced, but you guys know what I'm talking about. For some reason, dolphins on that map, I think just all of them on that map, I don't know what it is, I don't know what the, technical term for it is specifically, but yeah, they just all, every dolphin, every shark that you see on that map just decides, I'm just gonna pop out of the water a little too far and then bleh. Just pretty much dies and everything. But anyways, let's head on back over to our Pelagornis. I think I'm going to park in the same spot and then run around, because like I said before, I don't want the boat to end up getting attacked by the Megalodon. So I'll take a little bit of the trek, I'll take a little bit of the hike, and we should have this Pelagornis here in a little bit. And it is ours. Oh my god, let's see what this thing looks like. So, 2160 in health, 468 stam, 249 in weight, and 303 melee. You guys can let me know in the comments if this is good or not, because honestly, I have no freaking idea. But we got ourselves a Pelagornis. Unfortunately, it did not get 209, which would have been perfect tame and everything. It is what it is. Yeah, I would have had to use Kibble, unfortunately, in order to get 209, but it lost only one level. That's totally fine. I don't know why I'm whistling it off. Let's get this thing back onto the boat, or at least following us on the boat, and yeah, we're going to head back over to our base. So let's turn this on off, too, because that thing gets incredibly annoying. But yeah, guys, at this point, I'm just going to head on back over to base. I don't know why I'm in orbit camera right now, because I know I'm going to run into some rocks, but I will see you guys back at base, and yeah, we'll figure out what else we're going to do in this one. So, guys, we are finally back at base here. I am going to leave the Pelagornis kind of hanging out right here until we can get a saddle for it, and I've went ahead and named this thing Polly. I don't know why, just when I look at this thing, I think Polly. So we have Polly the Pelagornis. I've also went ahead and made myself a spyglass, which is going to help us immensely. So instead of having to walk up to creatures and see, oh, you're a level 45 Mochops, I can now look at a distance, and this is going to help, especially going after, I don't know, Dillos, Carnos, Raptors, anything that's going to be aggressive towards us, basically. But, yeah, it's always nice having the spyglass here. It's definitely a must-have in early game. And, of course, being at level 39, not necessarily too much of an early game anymore, but at the same time, I still feel like we're still in that early game grind. Now, what I want to actually end up doing is, I do want to actually... Where is it? Oh, I have it already unlocked. I have water skins. Perfect. I want to get a couple of water skins because I do want to go ahead and make some dye. I want to actually color my armor. I want to color the saddle here for the Equus, along with Johnny's saddle up there, the Maywing. So in order to do that, first thing we need to do is make ourselves a campfire. Not a campfire, I'm sorry. We have to make ourselves a cooking pot. Cooking pot we don't have unlocked. You can unlock it at level 8. You need 5 flint, 75 stone, 15 thatch, and 10 wood. And we should pretty much have almost all that right now. What are we missing? We're missing the stone and the flint, which is real easy. So let's head over to a rock, get that stuff, and get this thing on crafted. Alright, we can also make 1 water skin, which isn't the best, but at the same time, it is what it is. We have 53 wood, so we'll be looking pretty good there. So here's what we need to do. We have to drop the cooking pot on down. We need to go ahead and throw a little bit of wood in there. Right now, we have the Christmas event obviously going on, so we have access to all of these skins. We're not going to do anything with them just yet. Soon we will be partaking in the winter event here, but let's throw... Oh, I didn't throw the wood in. Oh, I took it out. That's why. Let's get our water skin filled, and then we do need to go out and get ourselves some... What do we need? Charcoal. I have plenty of charcoal back at base, so we'll actually grab that now. If you go onto the ARK wiki, you can look up what the ingredients are for what specific color you need. I'm probably going to do that, because I don't know what kind of saddle I want to color this thing yet. I might want to do a combination of the black and blue also with this. With Johnny, I'm not really sure either. I know armor-wise for myself, I kind of want to do the S2F colors. So we're going to be looking at either white or gray, along with red and black. I have more charcoal than this, but I'm just going to take a little bit for right now. We may need some spark powder too, so I'll take that. Let's take all the charcoal out of here. I don't need the kite. We can put that back. Come on. There we go. And then finally a little bit of charcoal here, and we should be good. I gotta figure out what colors specifically I want to use. Like I said, head over to the wiki. I think it's, you pretty much just put colors into the wiki and it should pop up. I'm gonna do that right now and figure out what combinations we need to get the right dyes that I want to use. Alright, so regardless what colors we want to use, we got to get a ton of berries. This is the way that you need to basically make color in this game. And you're also going to be using, pretty much going to be using berries along with a secondary ingredient, which is usually either going to be charcoal or it's going to be spark powder. So we got plenty of stuff right there. Let's see what color combinations we can do. So we're going to start with making black, which is pretty easy. All you need is a little bit of narco berry. I believe it's just narcoberry and charcoal, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to throw some charcoal in there. We're going to throw some narcoberry in there. We're going to throw the water skin in there. And we should be all good to go. So if we just hang out here and watch this thing, it should start bringing out some color for us. Let's see if I got that right. 2 charcoal, 15 narcoberry, and there we go. We have 5 black coloring. I'm going to make it probably about 20 black coloring, I think, just because I'm going to want to try different combinations and everything. So, but yeah, pretty much 15, what did I say? 15 narcoberry, 2 charcoal will make you 5 black coloring. So, I'll bring you guys back once I hit 20, and we'll move on to the next color. I also totally forgot, guys, the water skin is only 1 use, so once it makes 5 coloring, you'll have to actually take this to the water, fill it on up, and do it again, which is why, yeah, we're basically right by the water's edge here. I totally forgot about that. So, we are at 10, I'll bring you guys back at 20, and we'll move on to the next color. Alright, so next color we're going to work on is red, and in order to do that, you need, let's see, you need, yeah, I have it right. 15 tintoberry and 2 charcoal. So kind of the same thing as black, but basically just switch the narcoberries out for tintoberries specifically. So I'm going to do this to 20, and then we're going to use a different combination. I think we're going to try brick next, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, and that is 20 red coloring. Now, in order to make brick, it's pretty simple. You just need a little bit of narcoberry involved, just to give it a little bit of a darker color, and a little bit of spark powder, too. The combination is, let's see, brick is 12 tintoberries, 6 narcoberries, and 1 spark powder. And that is going to make brick coloring. So we'll kind of check what the differences are with those. Usually I use red coloring, but I don't know, if brick looks a little bit nicer, then that's what we'll use. So I'm going to make a total of 10 brick coloring and move on to white. Alright, and white is pretty simple here. All you need is 2 charcoal, 15 stem berries, and then your water skin, or any way of getting water. And that should give us just white dye, basically. There we go. So white coloring, gonna get 20 of that, and I will see you guys in a little bit, because at this point, guys, I think we have pretty much most of the colors that I want, and we're gonna go ahead and dye up this cloth armor, and hopefully it ends up looking nice. I do like doing the dyeing in the game just because it just adds a little bit more personality to your character and stuff like that. So let me get these colors ready to go. We'll get into the designing, and we'll see what we can come up with. Alright, so we got our colors needed, and all you need to do is just press the coloring that you want and press the item of clothing that you want to use. You can also use this on your weapons, you can use this on your tools, you can use it on pretty much, there's a lot of different things in the game that you can use coloring on, and that also includes saddles too, but we'll go over that in a little bit. But right now, we're just focusing on the clothing. Now, in order to do this, all you need to do is click a specific color. I like to start with white just to see what each region means. Another way that you can do this is, and it tells you in the upper left-hand corner of this little thing, you press right button and LB to rotate. So if you want to kind of just see what it looks like a little bit better, it looks like region 1 is basically just the front of the shirt. We're not going to accept that. We're just going to move on just so we can see what the differences are. Looks like region 4 is the little straps around the shoulder. Region 5 looks like it's a little tough to see. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There we go. So region 5 is going to be this region right here. You guys will see it change over in a second. It looks like it's like that. Yeah. It's the knot, basically. It's all of that leather, basically. And then moving back on out, let's see. So left trigger R. There we go. Region 6 is the strap underneath. Okay, sounds good. So let me kind of build up a combo here. I kind of want to do black shirt, probably around the shoulders, maybe white strap, or maybe white strap for this. Let's do white strap there, and let's see how the red looks. Here, and here. So now, just to kind of show you guys, that's what our shirt looks like. And honestly, I think it looks actually pretty nice. I may change it up and do the... Yeah, you know what? Let's do this instead. And let's go ahead and get that red coloring in. Let's switch the string to red and the straps to white. And this is why you need a lot of dye, guys, because pretty much you're just going to be doing all these different combinations and seeing what works out the best. I kind of like that a little bit better. I don't know what it is with the cloth armor, though. I don't like that strap period around it, but it is what it is. I'll kind of keep working with it, but you can just go on through and keep kind of switching your armor up and stuff like that, and you can come up with some pretty cool combinations. So I'm going to go ahead and design my entire character. I will bring you guys back in a little bit, and we'll see kind of what we ended up going with. Alright guys, and there we go. This is how it's looking. It doesn't look too shabby in my opinion. Again, you can go a little bit crazy with the combinations and whatever, but for right now, I'm happy with this, honestly. So, let's go ahead and work on the saddle here. And I really didn't use the brick too much. I kind of just prefer the combination of the red instead. So, let's go ahead and make this saddle. And it's a little bit tough to see right now. Let's kind of zoom in and figure out what these are. But I will bring you guys back in a little bit once I have a combo for this thing. And we'll see overall how it ends up looking. And here we go. Again, just kind of a rough draft and everything, but overall it doesn't look too shabby. It's a shame that you can't actually paint the this color region in the back here, so it's going to stay brown. It is what it is. But again, this is kind of what the character looks like. I know it was raining a little bit before, so I didn't really get to show off the colors too much. But again, I really do like the combo here. Again, each armor set comes with like different designs and stuff like that, so of course we'll keep experimenting and finding our perfect one. But I think you guys know the gist of when it comes to coloring and stuff like that. I am going to go ahead and also do the Maywing saddle. Don't know what I'm going to do it specifically yet for, but yeah, I'm liking this combo actually. But I'm going to actually wrap up the episode here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and on top of that, if you're enjoying the ARK content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.